Contenders. I'm your host, Peg Young. Well, marketers are now going for the human-to-human connection, and you can see it on the internet where they're going over content to go to market for the emotions, human-to-human connection. And I hope you feel that with us as well, that we're more than giving out prizes for what you know, but actually a sharing of our common love for the quiz. Let's welcome today's contenders onto our stage. Welcome to our stage. We have the Ed&G team, Byun and Ernst Stillebroer.
Considered really well, considering it's Dutch. It's Stillebroer.
So. Sorry.
Pretty good.
Tried to get that right. Now, tell us a bit about yourselves, Ed&G.
My name is Eddie. I'm from the United States.
I'm Ernst. I'm from the Netherlands.
We're both exchange students at Yonsei University.
And Ed&G?
Well, my name is Ed. Ernst has a nickname, The Great, so G.
All right. Well, great. It's great to have you guys. Ed&G, good luck to you today.
Thank you.
Great to be here.
Going against the Ed&G team, we have the Goodwill team, Kim Gi-min and Tammy Butner. Welcome, and share a bit about yourselves.
Well, we're from Suwon. We work there together. We chose Goodwill because we both like the movie Good Will Hunting. It's about friendship, and she and I became friends working at the same language school.
Big fans of Matt Damon?
Yeah, and Robin Williams as well.
I see. Well, welcome, and thank you for joining us today. Good luck to all of you. Let's begin our quiz. And now, well, in the first section, we'll be giving you 10 multiple choice questions. We'll stop when you get something wrong. We'll give you the sum of points up to that point. You can use chance once. That means we'll take away the incorrect choices, 2 of them anyway, and give you a better chance at the correct answer. Ed&G, you get to choose first. Sets Q, U, I, or Z?
Q.
All right, we will go with question set Q, number 1. Of the following, how many angles are in a triangle? 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5.
2.
Pretty easy?
First one.
A little bit. But if they stay that level, I'll be happy.
Oh, well, I think it gets slightly more difficult. We'll see. Question 2. Of the following, what is not a word that indicates a kind of finger? 1, middle, 2, ring, 3, card, 4, index.
3.
Question 3. Of the following, which word refers to a picture of inanimate objects such as fruit? 1, sculpture, 2, portrait, 3, pictogram, 4, still life. If you're not sure, you can use chance. What do you want to do, Ed&G?
Still life. 4.
It is the still life, and I'm glad you came up with that as your final answer. And we go to question 4. Of the following, which animal symbolizes the officials in American football? 1, tiger, 2, deer, 3, zebra, 4, bear.
3.
And that is because they have black and white stripes on their uniforms. And we go to question number 5. Of the following, which one of these countries borders the other 3? 1, Mexico, 2, Belize, 3, the United States, 4, Guatemala. If you're not sure, you can use chance.
Are you sure?
Chance?
All right, we will make this easier for you. Take away 2 of the incorrect choices. And now, please make your final selection. Ed&G.
2.
Actually, it's Mexico that borders the other 2 countries. And now you end this section with 40 points, but we have lots of points ahead, so don't worry. Good job, Ed&G, 40 points. And now, Goodwill, you have a choice of U, I, or Z sets of questions. Which will you have?
Z.
All right, we will go with question set Z, number 1. Of the following, which is not a city that is next to the sea? 1. Naples, 2. Stockholm, 3. Osaka, 4. Seoul.
4. Seoul.
We do have a river running through us, but no, we're not by the sea. And we go to question 2. Of the following, which is a food that has layered, wide, flat noodles in it? 1. Spaghetti, 2. Risotto, 3. Polenta, and 4. Lasagna.
4. Lasagna.
Do you cook it all?
A little bit. Not so much here. I don't have an oven in my apartment.
So you wouldn't be doing lasagna?
No.
We go to question 3. Of the following, who is the winner of this year's Korean series? 1. SK Wyverns, 2. Samsung Lions, Samsung Lions, 3. Hyundai Unicorns, 4. Tusan Bears.
We're gonna take a chance.
All right, we'll take away 2 of the incorrect choices. And now you have a choice. What will you choose?
3. Hyundai Unicorns.
Great. I guess you guys aren't big baseball fans?
No.
Good guess, though.
Not at all.
And we go to question 4. Of the following, shared products of human groups is a definition of what? 1. Family, 2. Culture, 3. Society, 4. History.
2. Culture.
Question number 5. Of the following, which is not a song that appears in The Sound of Music? 1. Climb Every Mountain, 2. Something Good, 3. So Long Farewell, 4. A Spoonful of Sugar.
Yeah. Number 4. Spoonful of Sugar.
And as you were mentioning, yes, it is from Mary Poppins, that song. And we go to question 6. Of the following, which animal's eye is bigger than its brain? 1. Ostrich, 2. Giraffe, 3. Penguin, 4. Mouse.
Number 1. Ostrich.
You're pulling ahead, Goodwill team, and we go to question number 7. Of the following, what does the yo-yo mean in the native Filipino language? 1. Bye-bye, 2. Look, 3. Come, 4. Go.
Yo-yo.
You've got to make a selection now, Goodwill. Final answer, please.
Number 1. Bye-bye.
We've actually mentioned this a few times on the quiz. This is actually come in Filipino. Well, Goodwill, you are still ending this section ahead with 60 points. Congratulations. And now we get to see how well you partners work together as a team. We give you 20 words in a given category. We give you 100 seconds to go through it. And you cannot use the word or phrase that we do give you on the board, but you can do almost everything else. Ed&G, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, please take your position next to me. And your category is the 18th century. And what is your most notable item of the 18th century that you studied or you thought about?
The American Revolution.
Let's hope that lots of that is in the list.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
A book about a man stranded on an island by Defoe.
Robinson Crusoe.
This is on a sandwich made of egg and it's white.
Omelet?
No, it's on a sandwich. It's like a sauce. A lot of people don't like it.
Mayonnaise?
Amadeus.
Mozart?
This is the man we talked about earlier. He was a delegate to the Continental Congress, was not a president.
Pass.
This is before, you know how kids have blades? Pass. Pass. Not the French, but the
American Revolution.
Louis XVI was killed by
Guillotine.
Handel, Jesus Christ, a name of an opera.
Jesus Christ Superstar.
No, an opera by Handel. Starts with N.
Oh,
Pass. This is a famous bell. The Americans fought for it. It starts with L. Pass. 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 Yo, yo, yo.
Rococo.
This is a comet that comes by once every couple hundred years. Louis XVI, the female.
You know, there was a lot to look into for the 18th century.
Right.
You were really, I think you were headed towards the right direction. Well, I think you were thinking about it, Messiah, the Handel piece, and Benjamin Franklin was the guy who never became president of the U.S., but, well.
Yeah, we talked about him.
And we couldn't give you Halley's Comet because you used comet in your hint. You end the section with 100 points. And now, Goodwill, it's your turn. Your category is oldies but goodies. What's your favorite?
It's got to be Elvis.
Well, let's see if he's on there. Ready? Go.
Song by Elvis, starts with D. Last word, mean. Pass. Roy Orbison sang this. It was a movie starring.
Speak up, please.
No, it was a movie starring Julia Roberts and Richard Gere.
Pretty Woman?
Yeah. They did the song Mamma Mia.
ABBA.
Yeah. Pass. Richie Valens. His
November.
Song. Last name, part of a book.
Part of a book.
Pass. Not today, not tomorrow, but
Yesterday.
Old Blue Eyes.
Old Blue Eyes.
Last name starts with S. Okay, pass. Never mind, pass. Okay, in an engagement ring, the stone.
Yeah. Diamond.
Last name, first name starts with N.
Diamond. Diamond. Neil Diamond.
Not his boy, but
My boy. My girl.
very good. Mrs. Robinson.
Graduate.
No, Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Simon and Garfunkel.
Very good. Diana Ross and
Springs. The Springs.
Everly Brothers in Ghost.
Ghost. Oh.
Starts with U.
If only for the time, I think you would have gotten Unchained Melody.
Unchained Melody?
Yeah. And we couldn't give you yesterday because we couldn't give you yesterday because you used day. Today, yes. However, once again, Goodwill, you are ahead. 130 points. Good job. And now, generally, you know, we would have the next section, and whoever has the most points would go on to the finals. However, we had the JJ team win 7 times in a row last week. That means you both will be going on to the finals. Our points will be carrying over, though. Let's welcome Mr. David Hwang with our questions. Close game, huh?
Yeah, close game. I feel real good today. I feel like I'm at home. Because from what I hear, Ed is from, he goes to the University of Pennsylvania, which is located in my hometown of Philadelphia. But we have Goodwill over here, who's from Suwon, which is where I was born. So I feel at home.
Oh, I see.
You see? Okay, I'm glad. All right, well, let me explain the rules of the next section. It's a series of non-multiple choice questions. The first team to buzz in will get the first chance to answer. But if you get it wrong, that chance will be given over to the other team. Now, you guys are lucky here on the Contenders. Why do you ask? Because if both of you guys get it wrong or neither of you guys know the answer, we are kind enough to give you another chance with the help of a spelling hint. There's 15 questions in all, 30 points per question. There you go, just like that. And 5 seconds to answer each question. Okay?
All right, so let's have question number 1.
Okay, question number 1 is about game. Last month, Rob Kruger of the team Legion of the Red Fist became the new champion of this. The competitors in glitzy, off-the-wall costumes call themselves professional athletes. This, played by hand, is also known in parts of the world as Rochambeau, Schnick, Schnack, Schnook, etc. What is this?
Goodwill?
Thai boxing.
Ed&G, it's your chance to answer. 5 seconds.
Arm wrestling?
You have to buzz in. Ed&G?
Arm wrestling?
Why don't we take a look at the hint? Goodwill.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah. I think you guys were misled perhaps by the hint. You know, you were thinking sportsman. But yes, it was played with a hand.
And in Korea, we have level 2 of rock, scissors, papers called mukjipa.
Yeah.
You guys know that?
Yeah.
It's like once after you do the Rochambeau, the winning person tries to trick this person into doing the same thing. Like if you go papers and this guy goes papers, this person wins. It's called mukjipa. Anyways, though.
All fun games. Let's go to question 2.
Question 2 is about drug. Afghanistan's cultivation of this product seemed to be on the increase following the aftermath of the 9/11 attacks and the subsequent war in Afghanistan. Afghanistan provided about 70% of the world's supply. This
Goodwill.
Opium.
Now, Goodwill, you're pushing ahead. 190 versus Ed&G's 100. However, this is still a close game since each question is worth 30 points each. Let's go with question number 3 now.
Question number 3 is about heritage. The Austrian government has returned a 400-year-old mask of Buddha to this country. Officials said a German citizen had tried to sell it to a museum in Vienna for $200,000. Made of bronze and copper, the mask disappeared in the Lutefisk district, just south of Kathmandu 2 years ago.
Ed&G.
Nepal?
Ed&G, you're catching up. 130 versus Goodwill's 190. Let's go with question 4 now.
Question number 4 is about title. A preeminent military historian, Stephen E. Ambrose is the author of numerous best-selling books about World War II. It is his work as a World War II consultant on this movie that helped people grasp the reality and horror of war.
Ed&G.
Saving Private Ryan?
And Ed&G, did you enjoy the movie?
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Was it your favorite though?
No.
It was hard to watch, wasn't
Yeah.
it? The
was
first good 10, 15 minutes, right?
Yeah.
It's quite
Do you have-
realistic though.
Do you have a favorite war movie?
No.
It's kind of weird to say a favorite war movie, but you know.
Sounds very violent.
It does sound very violent, but Apocalypse Now is a cult favorite and it's one of my favorites too.
And Ed&G, you've just got one question between you and the lead, Goodwill, 190 versus Ed&G's 160. Very close game. Remember, our points do carry over to the final section. Let's go with the next question.
We have question number 5 and it's about agency. LG Life Sciences Factive, a new antibiotic of the quinone family, is now ready for sales to the US market as it received final approval from this agency.
Goodwill.
The FDA.
The Food and Drug Administration was what we were going for. And let's go to question 6.
Question 6 is about animal. Until now, Jewish settlements in the West Bank.
Ed&G.
Pigs?
Which hint gave it away?
I read an article about
Yeah.
it.
Yes, it was in the news.
Current events. Gotta keep up with it.
We go to question 7.
Question 7 is about economy. The Kenyan government is reported to have given the go-ahead for a new fixed-line telephone license, raising the prospect of competition. The government will also now start the legal process of lifting this, enjoyed by Telkom Kenya. This is a situation in which...
Ed&G.
Monopoly.
And with that, Ed&G, you have caught up with Goodwill's lead, so you are 220 even. Let's go to question number 9.
Question number 9 is about health. A study has found that cleaners are at an increased risk of developing this because of the chemicals to which they are exposed. This is the most common lung disease acquired in the workplace in industrialized...
Goodwill.
Tuberculosis?
Ed&G, it's your chance to answer. He'll finish the question.
In industrialized countries, linked to around 20% of cases in adults. What is this?
Lung
Ed&G.
cancer? Lung cancer?
Why don't we take a look at the hint? Ed&G.
Asthma.
Yep, it's tough to be a cleaner. You could end up with asthma. Oh, that's really bad. And now we go to question 10.
Question 10 is about history. On October 27th, known as the king of Iranian pop, Byun has died in the US. Like many other Iranian entertainers, he had to leave the country after this, which banned pop music in...
Ed&G.
The Islamic Revolution.
The Islamic Republic of Iran was founded in 1979, and now we go on. Actually, Ed&G, you are increasing your lead. Goodwill, you've got to make points. Buzz in. Let's go with the next question.
Next question is about company. This company's former honchos, Ken Lay and Jeff Skilling...
Ed&G.
Enron.
What is it again?
Enron.
You're good.
They're actually rapping. Would you buy the CD?
They're rapping.
They're making a rap album.
Wow.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
From Enron executive to rap. Okay, let's move on to question number 12.
All right, question number 12 is about religion. On October 21st, John Paul II creates 30 new princes of the church.
Goodwill.
Cardinals?
And they will be the ones who pick his successor when the time comes. Goodwill, you are catching up 250 versus Ed&G's 310. Let's move on to question number 13.
Question number 13 is about people. This people asked Denmark Supreme Court to close down one of America's military bases. They claimed they were illegally evicted from traditional grounds in northern Greenland, and they are demanding the right of return. This word is to officially replace the term Eskimo.
Goodwill.
Left.
Ed&G, it is your chance to answer and finish the question.
The rest of the question is, what is this?
5 seconds. Ed&G.
Inuit.
It's not even officially.
So we've got to quit saying Eskimo and we've got to go with Inuit. So let's correct ourselves. Let's go on to question number 14.
Don't you hate that? It was right there. I knew you were thinking it. Okay, here. Question number 14 is about computer. Windows is increasingly susceptible to all kinds of viruses, malicious Trojan horse programs, and spyware. There's a simple way out of this endless morass. It is to buy an Apple computer. The distribution rate of this operating system may be lower, but it is reported to be...
Ed&G.
Mac OS.
We would have simply taken Mac or Macintosh, but yes, that works. And we've come to our last question for the section.
Number 15 is about myth. A team of experts believes it could be close.
Ed&G.
Atlantis.
Are you into the legend of Atlantis?
Maybe. They say Crete might be Atlantis, right? They're the old Maybe not Crete, but like Mycenaeans or something like that. They say
Well,
there's an old civilization that might be Atlantis.
There are lots of people who believe it. We'll see after the research comes out, I guess, after looking into it. We end the section actually with Ed&G ahead, 400 versus Goodwill's 250. It's a very close game still, and both of you get to go on to the finals. Start again after JJ's 7-time win. We have both of you on the stage, Goodwill and Ed&G. Good luck to all of you as we begin our final section. Now, as you know, we give you 5 categories of questions, 10 to 50 points each. And what are today's fascinating categories?
Today's fascinating categories are dramatic letters, Zoon Politikon, holiday food, sea of love, and hot stuff.
Zoon Politikon, actually. It comes from a classical philosopher's phrase, and it generally means political animal, as in man is a political animal. So, you know, it's about politics. So, I get to choose the first question, and I will go with dramatic letters, 10 points. Chodello de la Close novel, Les Liaisons Dangereuses, is a celebrated classic which explores seduction, revenge, and evil. The situations are arranged through letters only. Each letter must convey some desire on the part of one of the characters, since no one would bother writing if he or she did not want something. It has been adapted as several films, notably as Dangerous Liaisons, Goodwill.
7.
Ed&G, it's your chance to answer. I'll finish the question. Valmont, Cruel Intentions, and this Korean movie. What is this, Ed&G? 5 seconds. Ed&G?
Q.
We're looking for a Korean movie. It's actually a recent Korean movie. And it is a take on Les Liaisons Dangereuses. We've had Dangerous Liaisons, Goodwill.
Scandals.
Yes. It stars Bae-jun and Lee Mi-suk. I know you were really excited to share the answer with us, but really, you know, you've got to buzz in. Let me call out your team name, then share your answer with us. Okay. All right. Well, let's go on. Goodwill, what would you like to have next?
You choose. Holiday food for 10.
Holiday food, 10 points. This is a remarkably healthy ingredient, providing 3.5 times the recommended daily allowance of vitamin A and a lot of fiber per half-cup serving. Pureed, it lends itself to healthy cooking. It can, like Goodwill.
Tomato.
Ed&G, it is your chance to answer. I'll finish the question. It can, like applesauce and prune puree, replace fat in baked goods without giving them a rubbery texture. Although the first jack-o'-lanterns were made from turnips, today this is the large orange fruit that represents Halloween. What is this, Ed&G?
The pumpkin.
Goodwill, we would have made it a lot easier for you had you waited for the final hint. However, Ed&G, you get to choose.
Zoon Politikon.
For how many points?
10, please.
Zoon Politikon for 10 points.
Last month, outraged fans flooded the switchboards at NBC when an original episode of this drama was postponed due to the World Series baseball game. Korean President Roh Moo-hyun is a big fan of it too, according to some officials. The title refers to the U.S. President's senior staff and advisors because the Oval Office is located...
Goodwill.
The West Wing.
That's where they deal with such affairs, and Goodwill, you get to choose.
Okay. Holiday food for 20.
Holiday food, 20 points. Surprisingly, there are no plums in plum pudding. Years ago, when plum pudding first came to be, plum referred to any dried fruit. Plum pudding contains raisins and currants, but no plums. Plum pudding is considered best when it is made a year ahead of time. Charles Dickens referred to it in this story, Goodwill.
Christmas Carol?
Yes. It is a Christmas favorite movie. Do you enjoy plum pudding?
I've never had plum pudding.
You know something though? The Christmas Carol, I think it has the greatest villain name ever. Ebenezer Scrooge. Come on, that's a classic. That's really good.
And Dickens was, you know, a great guy for creating the name.
Yes.
It does ring kind of evil, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But in the end, he turns out to be a good guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Goodwill, you get to choose again.
Holiday food for 30.
Holiday food, 30 points. Sweet potato pie is often served for dessert during the holidays. Ounce for ounce, sweet potatoes have as much beta-carotene as carrots. A mere 4 ounces contain 50% of your daily requirement of vitamin C, as much this element as a banana, and a good amount of fiber. Goodwill.
Potassium?
Yes. The chemical symbol is K, and we would have taken the German kalium as well. Ed&G, don't give up on the food section.
We won't.
And Goodwill, you get to choose.
Holiday food for 40.
All right, holiday food, 40 points. Lutefisk is a centuries-old Yuletide delicacy in Norway, Denmark, and Sweden. Almost anyone of Scandinavian descent has fond memories of the steaming hot plate placed lovingly in front of them. In a single phrase, Lutefisk is this fish that has been soaked in lye and water for several days and then boiled. Goodwill.
Salmon.
Ed&G, it is your chance to answer. I'll finish the question. This is a saltwater food fish that has 3 dorsal fins and slender feelers like whiskers on its jaw. What is this? Ed&G, 5 seconds. Ed&G.
Salmon?
She actually. Yes. It's actually white meat. You know. Goodwill.
Codfish.
Yes. We have a lot of cod in Korea as well. And Goodwill, you get to
Want to
choose.
finish it? Good. Holiday food for 50.
Closing the category, holiday food, 50 points. Dates are a part of virtually every iftar meal when Muslims break their daily fast during Ramadan. Egyptian wholesalers named their dates after prominent figures who dominated the international scene. Dates named this are still sought after. From Arabic, this literally means a shaking off and is the Palestinian uprising in the West Bank and Ed&G.
Intifada.
Goodwill, it is your chance to answer, and I'll finish the question. And is the Palestinian uprising in the West Bank and Gaza Strip that started in 1987 in protest against the continued Israeli occupation. What is this? Goodwill, 5 seconds. Goodwill out of time, and now the chance is open for teams. Ed&G.
The Intifada.
I'm glad you got it right. And
Yeah, me too.
and Ed&G, you get to choose.
Sea of Love.
For how many points?
10, please.
All right, Sea of Love, 10 points.
From Latin, this literally means desire, and this god has always played a role in the celebrations of love.
Ed&G.
Cupid.
He's also known as Eros. And Ed&G.
Hot Stuff for 10, please.
Hot Stuff, 10 points.
Hello, my name is Lee Hyun-gyu of the National Science Museum. At our museum, we try to bring science closer to the everyday lives of people. We especially tried to boost the creativity of our next generation. We hope you find the questions today interesting as well. Here come the questions. This theory is based on the mathematical equations of the general theory of relativity set forth in 1915 by Albert Einstein. About 13.7 billion years ago, this cosmic explosion occurred.
Goodwill.
Big Bang.
Yes. This is the currently accepted explanation of the beginning of the universe. And Goodwill, you're catching up. You get to choose.
What do you want? Sea of Love, 20.
Sea of Love, 20 points.
Australian scientists believe that they have rediscovered an effective use for lemon juice as a contraceptive. It is not a new idea, but is one that has fallen by the wayside over the years. About 300 years ago, Mediterranean women used it as their main method of contraception. It was encouraged particularly by this man, a Venetian adventurer and autobiographer. He is renowned for his sexual prowess and his way with the ladies. Who is this?
Goodwill.
Caligula?
Ed&G, 5 seconds. Ed&G.
Marco Polo?
We're looking for an adventurer and autobiographer, and he's actually just, his name is equated to just Playboy. Ed&G.
Don Juan? Don Juan?
Goodwill.
Casanova.
Very good.
And Goodwill, you get to choose.
What do you want? Choose. Okay, Sea of Love, 30.
Sea of Love, 30 points.
Okay, Sea of Love for 30 points. Its friendly ghost named Eleanor has been sighted on a number of occasions throughout the years and is always described as
Goodwill.
Casper.
Ed&G, it's your chance to answer. Please finish the question.
the lady in a bombazine dress. She fell in love with a fisherman, but their love was frowned upon. Eleanor caught a fatal cold during a secret visit to the fisherman and died in his arms. She is believed to be the 14-year-old daughter of a governor of this city. This is the legislative capital of South Africa. What is this?
Ed&G.
Cape Town?
Yeah. So I guess the guy was, black and it was not, politically correct at the time. And Ed&G, you get to choose.
Zoom Politicon for 20.
Zoom Politicon, 20 points.
This person argued that the individual needed to live in a political community where he could interact with his fellow citizens and work for justice and the common good of the republic. According to his famous dictum, man is by nature a political or social animal.
Goodwill.
Aristotle.
He was also the tutor of young Alexander the Great, and he's actually one of the top philosophers that we know as a classical philosopher, along with Plato and Socrates. And Goodwill, you are catching up 410 versus Ed&G's lead of 500 points. Goodwill, you get to choose.
Hot stuff for 20.
Hot stuff, 20 points.
Boiling point is the temperature at which a liquid turns to gas. If the pressure on a liquid is reduced, the boiling point is lowered. When the pressure on a sample of water falls to 4.55 or boiling occurs at 0 degrees centigrade, which is the normal freezing point. Water at 1 atmosphere pressure boils at this degree at sea level.
Ed&G.
100.
100 degrees Celsius, or we would have taken 212 degrees Fahrenheit. And Ed&G, you get to choose.
Dramatic letters for 20.
Dramatic letters, 20 points. By 1883, Mark Twain was more enthusiastic about the novel. Quote, "This summer it is no more trouble to me to write than it is to lie." End quote, he wrote his brother, and I shall like it whether anybody else does or not. His letters about this character document his thoughts about the book, his progress in writing it, and his reactions to the banning of the book by public libraries. He described it simply as a kind of companion to Tom Sawyer. Who's this? Ed&G.
Huckleberry Finn.
It's Tom Sawyer's sequel. And
Written by Mark Twain.
Yes.
Whose real name is?
Samuel Clemenson.
You like the book?
Representing UPenn.
I actually never got to finish it.
Okay, well, maybe you'll get a chance. And Ed&G, you get to choose.
Dramatic letters for 30 points.
Dramatic letters, 30 points. The letter dates from July 1812 and apparently marks the collapse of this person's hopes to seek happiness through marriage. In 1812, he met Johann Wolfgang von Goethe through the initiative of Goethe's friend, Bettina Brentano. Her sister-in-law, Antonia, was probably the intended recipient of his famous letter to the immortal beloved. He is the German composer considered one of the greatest musicians of all time. Who is this? Goodwill.
Mozart?
Ed&G, 5 seconds. Ed&G.
Wagner?
Immortal Beloved is a really big hint. You know, the movie was about him.
My favorite, one of my favorite actors is in this one.
His Symphony Number 9. Ed&G.
Beethoven?
Yes.
Immortal Beloved and Gary Oldman as Beethoven.
Oh.
No? Okay.
Didn't see it.
Oh, me neither.
Well,
So now you gotta watch Immortal Beloved and read Huckleberry Finn.
I will do
You're
that.
busy.
I want to do that.
And Ed&G, you get to choose.
Zune Politikon for 30.
Zune Politikon, 30 points.
Is the U.S. winning or losing the war on terrorism? In a private memo to the U.S. Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld, this question is raised. The memo dated October 16th offers a much more stark assessment of the global war on terrorism. Ever the clever raconteur, he reached deep into a dictionary for an alternative definition of this word.
Ed&G.
Slog?
Slog actually means to plod and to work long and hard, to slog. Do you slog?
On this show, yes.
And yeah, Rumsfeld's note set off quite a bit of mess back in Washington.
It's a sad thing, though. I mean, they try to say that they're not going to do it Vietnam again, but you know, how do you fight terrorism? It's such a horrible situation in general, you know. Anyways, though.
Ed&G, you get to choose.
Hot stuff for 30.
Hot stuff, 30 points.
Dr. David Stevenson thought of a scientifically possible way to send an unmanned probe to this. He has described an ambitious plan using a nuclear weapon and 100,000 tons of molten ions to send a grapefruit-sized probe to this. The temperature in this may be as high as 6,650 degrees centigrade, called the fission hole. This is the innermost part of the Earth. What's this?
Ed&G.
The core?
Hey, you know, in Korea and other Asian, and I think it's catching on. What do they call the heating underneath?
Ondol, or radiant heating.
Ondol. So the Earth is a natural ondol. Aha. You see how my brain works?
Interesting way of looking at it. Ed&G.
Zune Politikon for 40 points.
Zoom Politikon, 40 points.
Last month, Russian markets have taken fright at the arrest of Mikhail Khodorkovsky, one of Russia's richest men. Critics said he is being held for political rather than criminal reasons. He is more politically active than many other business oligarchs and so a more obvious rival to the Kremlin. His company is seen as a pioneer in changing the image of Russian companies abroad. This is the second largest Russian oil company. What is this?
Goodwill.
Yukos?
Yeah. And he's actually turned over the leadership of this company to somebody else because he doesn't want to get it, you know, mixed up in the political mess. And Goodwill, you get to choose.
We'll do Sea of Love for 40.
Sea of Love, 40 points.
While seeking refuge from the Greeks during the Trojan War, this princess was dragged from the temple of Athena.
Goodwill.
Paris.
Ed&G, it is your chance to answer. Please finish the question.
Where was I? This princess was dragged from the temple of Athena. After the war, she was a slave of Agamemnon and was killed with him by his wife Clytemnestra. The god Apollo, who loved her, granted her the power of prophecy. But because she would not accept him as a lover, Apollo changed her blessing to a curse, causing her prophecies never to be believed. Who is this?
So Ed&G, 5 seconds. And now the chance is open to both teams. Goodwill?
Cassandra.
Yes. She is the prophetess that we don't want to be like, right? It would be awful if we could tell the truth and nobody believed us. And Goodwill, you get to choose.
Sea of Love for 50.
Sea of Love, closing the category, 50 points.
The wedding was on the 25th of July, 1915. This person has been a gentle, caring, and passionate lover. The timeless image of himself and his beloved Bella in the birthday sends our heart soaring to float with him on a cloud of ecstasy. A lot of his pictures are devoted to his wife Bella. This Russian-born French painter's work treats subjects in a vein of humor and fantasy that draws deeply on the resources of the unconscious. Who is this?
His wife's name, Bella, and he has very romantic, fantastic paintings. And you know, the category, Sea of Love. 5 seconds, both teams. Goodwill.
Cezanne.
Ed&G, 5 seconds. Ed&G.
Claude Monet.
We're actually looking for Marc Chagall. Yeah, painter I think all enjoy. His name didn't come to mind. Why don't we go with Hot Stuff, 40 points.
Why don't we?
Last month, two so-called coronal mass ejections blasted material away from these and may yet give Earth's magnetic defenses a glancing blow. The source of the current activity is this. The current groups of these are among the largest seen in years, 10 times larger than the surface of the Earth. This is a darker, cooler area on the
Goodwill.
Sunspot.
Pokes through the solar surface. And Goodwill, it's good to see you on the board. Well, the game is still up for grabs. Goodwill, you've got 530 points. Ed&G, 630. Goodwill, you get to choose.
Okay, Hot Stuff for 50.
Hot Stuff, closing the category, 50 points.
This planet is a poor reflector of sunlight because its surface consists of rough, porous, dark-colored rock. The amount of sunlight it reflects is only about 12%. Earth, in contrast, reflects about 37% of the sunlight that strikes it. Focused on this.
Ed&G.
Mercury?
Yes. Good guess. And Ed&G, you get to choose.
Dramatic letters for 40, please.
Dramatic letters, 40 points. As with stories skillfully told only by presenting letters, the images between the letters conjure feelings that warm the heart. This story contains Jerusha Abbott's charming letters to an unknown person, named as such because only once at the orphanage did she see his shadow drawn out in the headlights of the car toward which he walked. She went to a college funded by an anonymous benefactor. What is the title of this book? This is what she called her benefactor, who sent her to college. Goodwill.
I know in Korean.
English.
기다려줘.
And Ed&G, 5 seconds. We're looking for somebody tall. The English name of the book is Daddy Longlegs.
Daddy long legs.
Or Hidari Ajashi, as you said in Korean. And we've got just 2 questions left on the board. Why don't we go with dramatic letters, 50 points. This person attributed his failure to live, as well as his escape into literature, to the prohibitive father figure. He felt his will had been broken by his father, but Letter to Father, written in 1919, never reached the address. Now he is considered one of the most significant figures in modern world literature. The term blankesque has, in fact, come to be applied commonly to grotesque, anxiety-producing social conditions in literature. Who is this? Ed&G.
Kafka?
Yes. And with that, we have our last question. Zoom Politicon, 50 points.
A naive and idealistic man is appointed to fill a vacancy in the U.S. Senate. His plans promptly collide with political corruption, but he doesn't back down. In the movie Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, James Stewart dried out his throat with bicarbonate of soda to make his voice hoarse for this famous scene. This is a tactic.
Ed&G.
Filibuster.
And with that, Ed&G, you've made your first win. Congratulations.
Various prizes are awaiting our winning contenders. Your first win will take you on a trip to Jeju Island. Your second win to Japan. Your third win will take you to China. And on your fourth win, you'll win a trip to Southeast Asia. On your fifth win, a trip to Hawaii. Your sixth win, a trip to the United States. And on your seventh win, you'll take the grand prize of a tour of Europe. We hope many of you join us.
Goodwill, it was a good game. You had a chance to the end. What do you want to say to your supporters?
Thanks for the teachers who offered to cover our classes today.
Yes.
Thanks to our boss who was offering to give us the time off. And hi to everybody at home.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. And Ed&G, you've got your first win. Are you satisfied with your tickets to Jeju Island?
Oh, yeah.
I'm fairly satisfied.
Are you going to go on to the second game?
Yes, we are.
All right, so you'll be back next week to try for more tickets. All right, congratulations again on your first win. And with that, we have Ed&G, their first win. Join us again next week, same time. Have a great week. Bye-bye.